about something really, really interesting, but only to you. You haven't introduced us to the topic yet.
Yeah, so you haven't seen Cart Narcs?
Cart Narcs?
Yeah.
No.
It's a pet peeve of mine, but this guy's made like a YouTube series out of it. It's quite good. So obviously in America they call a shopping trolley a shopping cart.
Okay.
And a narc is a I don't know. But anyway, he's made a YouTube series where he goes around and like films from his chest or whatever, and just gives people grief for leaving their shopping cart not where it should be. It's so good.
Like in a car space, I would hope.
In car spaces, or like, you know how they like sort of like put it up like 4-wheel drive style, like on the curb.
Oh, of course.
Or like there's one guy he catches who puts it behind someone else's car so they can't get out. But it's funny because like the guy, he like, I guess, I don't know, he must be in Texas or something like that, and he puts like a little bit of a like a game face on, and he like walks around and he like talks to you as he's like, hey, you know, we're here today at somewhere, and he's just like, oh no, this lady's put her shopping cart in the disabled spot. All right, oh boys, we better get him. Skippy beep 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 beep. He's like, oh no, that's not where the shopping carts go.
That sounds really good.
Oopsie.
It's proper good, but no, like I always get pissy when like you got to pull into it, not even pull into a park and there's a shopping trolley there, but if there's one near it, like
yeah,
no one wants a shopping trolley to hit their car. Oh, actually, to be honest with you, I wouldn't care if one hit my new car, but my old car, that costs money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I reckon it's quite funny because like, I don't know, but he gives them like a fucking proper hard time.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Proper hard time. Like he has bumper stickers as well, so when they like try and brush it off and say like, who cares?
Yeah.
He then just, I guess he harasses them. I don't know.
That's funny.
But yeah, he puts like a bumper sticker on their car.
Yeah. What's it say?
I got busted by the cart narcs or something like that.
Yeah.
Or some shit. So it's like a, yeah, I don't know. And then yeah, obviously after like he puts stuff on their car, they get really pissy, and then it all kicks off from there.
Nice.
It's
That's
kind of fun,
good.
so.
Yeah.
Are they recent videos or are they old? That's resurfaced.
I don't know. I haven't really paid attention to it, but I think it's quite recent.
Yeah.
Because like he's only getting like 50k views or something like
that
per video. Like he deserves more.
Only 50k views.
Yeah, no, he deserves
we have
more.
20 views.
The whole world needs to see this. Like people who leave their shopping cart, especially the worst ones, like when the shopping, I guess it's a shopping cart dock or like a shopping rail, cart rail.
Cart rail, yeah.
I think.
Just run with that.
Yeah, cart rail, I think is what he calls it. When they're like 2 foot from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes what I do is if I ever see like someone leave their trolley just not in the trolley bay, so basically a lazy because it's really not that far. Even
so easy.
Just a lovely little stroll across the car park would be fine.
Yeah.
I like if I'm about to do it, you know, make the long tedious walk to put my trolley back, I go and grab theirs as they're reversing out of their car spot and like put it into mine and I just wave to them.
Make a deal of it.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to start putting it behind people's cars so they can't get out. Like,
their cars, you mean?
They deserve it.
Yeah. So the person who does the
deed.
The bad cart etiquette.
Yeah. Bad cart etiquette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing is now there's 2 different types of cart. So before it was simple. If you put your car back in the cart bay, it would go into the other cart. Now there's 2 types of carts. So if you try and fit a half cart into a full cart, it gets jammed, and you find these carts that are just rammed together and just ruin the whole system.
There with a crowbar trying to pry them apart.
Literally, there's 2 lanes. There's like the mini cart and the full cart lane, and someone's just gone about their business and put it in the wrong side, and it's just screwed all the other carts up.
It's almost like people go out of their way to do it wrong as well.
On
Which,
purpose.
you know, it's because it's really simple.
Yeah.
You're
probably right with that.
Yeah.
But I like all I'm saying with his 50k views, like he deserves a lot more than that, only because everyone needs to see it.
Yeah.
Like, just be a good person. Put your shopping trolley back.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would disagree with him, apart
Yeah.
from the people who are lazy
No, but most of the time as well, like, I feel that they would even realize that they're just being a piece of shit.
Mm.
Like, there's one instance where there's this, a larger man gets out of his car and, like, chases him across the the parking lot.
Mm.
He's run so far that he could have just got out of his car, walked 10 meters and put his cart back. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Is there a demographic, or have you noticed a pattern with the people who aren't doing it, or is it just anybody?
Nah,
It's
just
Karens.
like anybody
It's
and every-
definitely Karen.
Oh, there's some Karens.
In my mind, it was a
but,
Karen,
like,
but
It needs to be Karen.
there are Karens, but no, there's a lot of people. Like the dude who put it behind someone else's car was like, I don't know, like, and he didn't even realize what he was doing.
right. It was
And
just.
the best part is when he makes his own little like siren noises. He's like, beep, 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 skip.
Yeah, like a police.
He does a few. So I wanted to make a mashup of all of his little siren noises.
It'll be
That'd be
fun.
cool.
Skip, beep, beep.
Better than that button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How hard would it be to change the button into a
What,
A
into
new
just a
button.
random one? You could do it.
DIY?
Show the camera.
Sorry, not sorry.
Dude. Sorry, not sorry.
Give me one more.
Hashtag blessed.
Oh, gee. How many do you reckon of them they've sold? How many did they have on the rack when you...
There was two. There was one of them was that one, and the other one was like a golf one.
And how did it catch your eye? Like, what's the story behind you?
It caught my
finding
eye
it?
because it said hashtag blessed.
Ah,
And I thought that people would buy these to use them, like, not sarcastically.
right.
What do you
Because they
think the
think
that
actual
it's-
intended use of that product is?
Like, well, I like it because it makes fun of a demographic of people who I kind of despise.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
Fair.
But people of that demographic might love this because they don't have to even
Like,
utter
they
the
don't
word.
see the irony in
They
it.
don't even have to use any of their Botoxed face
Ah,
to do it.
yeah.
You okay, hun?
I get you.
What do you think
So,
the
yeah.
intended use of it was for, though?
Just it's just a piece of junk, like, to make fun of that.
You think it was like actually like a...
Yeah, I reckon it was.
I hope it was.
I mean,
I hope
I
so.
really hope it was. But
I'm trying to think
you
of an
just
actual
don't know
use.
these days.
Yeah.
Because people are actually like they do this without being funny.
Yeah. but,
People
like,
say hashtag blessed without being funny. Yeah. Unironically.
Yeah,
They actually say hashtag.
yeah, I know. That's what I think's really funny.
Do you
about
remember
it.
back before it was just hashtag and it was just called hash?
No, I actually don't.
I do.
Press star
Well,
10 hash.
Yeah, well, pressing hash like a gate key to get in.
Yeah, or like on your old phone that had a hash button.
Yeah.
And the
Now-
other side was a... What was the other side?
The
Next
star.
To the zero. Star.
Yeah. Now, if you ask anybody, it's a hashtag. It's not a hash anymore.
No, it's a hashtag.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I still say hash.
I
You say
don't
hash?
find myself using it very often.
I mean, I don't
I use
it
hash all
often.
the time.
Yeah. But I
But I
probably
would-
would say hash. I don't think I'd say hashtag.
Like,
Hash
I
is
wouldn't
short
say-
for hashish.
Mm.
please enter your 12-digit code followed by the hashtag key. You know what I mean? I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't say that either.
Oh, if I was trying to get someone to make me like some sort of answering machine, I wouldn't tell them to use the word hashtag.
The hashtag.
Yeah, the hashtag button.
Yeah.
Was that Instagram that did that? It was, wasn't it?
Wasn't it Twitter?
I think it was Twitter.
Twitter, maybe.
Yeah, because
Twitter to do.
Twitter is like a big thing of what's trending.
Yeah.
And
It was
Twitter is just a cesspool.
That's
Have
right.
you ever been on Twitter?
not recently.
Yeah, it's just horrible.
I haven't
Just a
used it in a
cesspool
while.
of like hate
Actually,
Mm.
no, I lied. I used
and crap.
Yeah.
I used Twitter the other day to find out if what you sent me was true, and then I found out it was photoshopped. I'm not going to bring up what it was, but I'm just saying I've used Twitter. I know what it is.
Hmm.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I don't think Twitter is the best place to go to find out if things are true.
No,
But-
no. You sent me a tweet from someone, and I was like, that can't be legit. So then I looked up their Twitter.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Well, oh, that's good that you did that.
Yeah.
At least you had the, the due diligence
I had
to
to
check.
I had to do my research.
Yeah.
yeah.
Then I went on their Twitter account, and there was no such tweets.
Oh.
So I called bullshit.
What are we calling our segments, by the way? What do you reckon we should call our segments?
Dort of the week.
Can we have a slippery
Dort of
segment?
the week.
A what?
A slippery segment?
Yeah, what would that entail?
Oh, just some juicy deeds.
Juicy D.
Maybe some controversial comments and
Nah,
such.
no.
Demonetized.
Yeah, demonetized straight away.
Do you want to start segments? Is that how this is gonna go forward?
Well, I have a couple good more stories from during the week.
Yes.
If you
Oh,
want to hear them.
this
Go for
week
it.
with Adams.
If I could indulge you for a few minutes.
Absolutely. Do you need a name before you start, or we're gonna just go for it?
Adam's antics.
Oh,
Nah, that's the G word, dude. I don't like that one.
The G word.
I don't know what the G
I
word
didn't
is.
say
Yeah.
any G word.
It's happy. It's way too happy.
Oh,
Adam's. What's a
Adams articulations.
It could go unnamed for now, but the first
We'll
one
Adam
edit the name-
segment.
We'll edit
was
the name
about
back
a
in.
guy
Yeah.
who basically I was coming down the street towards an intersection, right? And there's a guy behind me, an really old guy,
Mm.
and the guy in front of me obviously just saw one of his friends walking up the side of the street with a surfboard under his arm, and he stopped in the street, which means I had to stop. The guy behind me had to stop,
Mm.
and he just was having a conversation with his friend.
in the street.
He was in his car.
Oh, in the middle of the road.
I was in my car.
Oh,
A guy
fuck
behind
off.
me was in his car, and this guy stopped, rolled down his passenger's window, and
G'day,
just,
Cobber. How are
started
ya?
having a chat with the guy holding the surfboard walking on the sidewalk.
That.
And
No.
it went for like I want to say maybe 15 seconds, but it probably went for 10 seconds.
Right.
But
Too long.
What? why?
More than
Where
a
was
hey,
this?
how you going?
Yeah.
James Street, did you say?
No, this was just coming off Goodwin Terrace
Oh, yeah, I don't know where
in
that is.
Burleigh.
Mm.
But
But still,
it was so. I was just like, is this really
Dude,
happening?
Yeah.
I would have given him a good honking the whole time.
The funny thing is, the guy holding the surfboard even looked back at me as if to say to his friend, like, "There's people behind you."
Move it along.
And then the guy just started he was just still chatting to his friend, just like. And then the surfer was kind of like more and more looking more
Yeah, edging.
nervous. Yeah. And yeah. Anyway, then we got up to the intersection, the T intersection. So like I was coming up to the T intersection behind this guy,
Mm.
and then there was a guy behind me, and there was cars going the whole way, like sort of queuing through. Not they weren't queuing through the T intersection,
Yeah.
but they were coming through it,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So we had to give way to them. The first guy went, and then I came up to the T intersection to go left.
Yeah.
The old guy behind me comes like next to me. This is a 1-lane T intersection.
Yeah.
So I've started turning into the intersection.
Yeah.
He comes next to me.
And blocks you.
No, and he's
Oh.
trying to like squeeze out in front of me from behind me. And
You
Not
say,
happy.
"Old man."
And then I looked at him. I made eye contact with him.
Yeah.
He made eye contact with me, and he waved me in.
Oh, not. Oh,
He waved me in like
I
he was
hate
in front
that.
of me, or like
Uh.
he was giving way to me.
I hate that.
Yeah,
That's
and I was like,
disgusting.
The
Dude,
condescending wave.
I'm turning left. Just wait. It's not your turn to turn left yet.
Actually,
Yeah.
speaking of waving people in,
Yeah.
just quickly, me and my housemate were coming home from, I don't know, it was the middle of the night. It would have been like 10 o'clock or something like that. And like coming into Edmund Rice Drive or whatever, there's like a pedestrian crossing.
Mm.
And we were like heading down the hill. And there was this guy in the middle of the night with no shirt on pushing a bike.
Okay.
Instant thought was, look at this crackhead, like pushing his bike at 10 o'clock
Yeah.
at night. Then I thought, no, hang on, don't be judgmental.
No.
It's just a normal person just riding his bike. And anyway, so I'm pulling into the street and I'm like, oh, I'll slow down and be nice and let him across the pedestrian crossing.
Mm.
Sure enough, I slow down and he would have been like maybe 4 or 5 meters off the pedestrian crossing. So I was just being nice kind of thing, like not going fast around the corner or whatever. And anyway, he like just stops and just looks at me. My windows are both down, and he just goes, "I'm not even at the crossing yet, mate. What the are you stopping for?" And I'm just like, crack addict for sure. You were right, Blaize.
Don't doubt yourself.
At all. And
Yeah.
then I like just sort of took off the hill, and then I could just see him behind me going, and I was like, holy shit. That was, I thought, it
That's
was
funny.
Yeah.
So I hear I was being a nice person.
And now you won't be nice anymore.
Not at all. No,
No.
I just go straight through them.
Especially those
Not the people,
crack
the
addicts.
pedestrian crossing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I just, you know that when you get those gut instincts and you're like, no, hang on a second, just pull yourself back
Those
a notch.
gun
Mm.
instinct.
And then, and I was completely right, and I was just like, yeah.
Yeah, that's horrible.
No, you said you had some other stories. Sorry to interject there.
Oh yeah, this one's really funny. A guy.
Quick roll of the eyes
Yeah.
there.
So this guy asked me for a bag, right? I'm processing his sale, and he asked me,
The f-
"What?
that was my laptop.
Nothing happened."
I got some really weird. Bring.
Me too.
Wow.
Oh,
He asked you for a bag.
yeah. Anyway, so he
What day was
asked,
it?
huh?
What day was it?
Probably mid Tuesday.
Jeez, wanting a bag on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Fine.
So he asked me for a bag, a plastic bag,
Mm.
and I said, plastic bags aren't a thing anymore. But I can sell you a bag for $150. Or I can just put it in a box and it's free. The box is free, dude. The box is free. Take the box. That's what I'm thinking in my head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sorry, what was 150?
So the most awkward thing is when
That's
he
cheap.
wants a reusable bag.
Oh,
right?
okay, yeah, yeah.
But
yeah.
then you say to him, I can sell you a bag for $150
Mm.
or a box is free.
Yeah.
Take the box.
Yeah.
So then he goes, "Oh yeah, well I'll grab a bag," and I said, "Okay, sure." So I scanned the bag and it came up to $150.
Yeah.
Then I went to scan his product, and he goes, "Oh, I'm not paying that," and I was like, "I just said it was $150. Did you not listen to what I said?" I didn't say that to him, but
Yep.
I said I just said it was $150.
Yeah.
And
He tried to argue that.
yeah, and then he said, "Oh, well, you should have something for us to carry it out in." And I said, "I
Yeah.
also have boxes, which are free." And I also just said that too.
Yeah.
You should probably listen a bit more. That's what I was thinking in my head.
Yeah.
And then he said to me, "Why don't you have any bags?" And I was like,
Oh,
"I
my
also have
God.
bags for $150.
150.
Or I can give you a box, which is completely free."
Or you can have nothing.
Yeah.
I
But
was
what
just-
I'd said to him is, because he was getting a bit edgy then,
Mm.
and he had already sworn at me,
Oh.
and I said, "Dude, I just told you I can sell you a bag for $150, or I can put it in a box for $0. Pick which one you want, and listen to what I say. When you ask me a question, listen to the response."
Yeah.
That really bothered me as well for maybe the next 2 minutes.
Was he sober?
Yeah,
you
he
think?
was completely sober. This guy was like in middle age. I also was like, where the have you been for 2 years?
Mm.
Plastic bags have been banned for 2 years.
Has it been 2 years now?
Yeah,
Wow.
well, nearly 2 years, like
yeah.
2018.
Shit.
And I said to him, if you have a problem with that, it's not me. The government literally says you can't have a plastic bag.
So what did he choose?
He didn't choose anything. He walked out without buying a product.
Wow.
Yeah.
150 or free. Couldn't make the
For
choice.
some reason, I imagined him for some reason had bought a carton of beer.
I was
And I was just
thinking
like, what
No,
sort of
he-
bag does
it
that
was-
fit
a
in?
single bottle of red wine.
No, it was a 6-pack.
Oh.
Oh. So he walked out with it on his shoulder like a carton.
No, he didn't
No,
buy
he
it.
didn't buy it.
What, the beer?
He wanted to make a point, so he didn't buy it.
What an idiot.
Yeah.
What's the equivalent of a Karen? A Kevin?
Nah, Chad.
Chad, you reckon?
A Tim?
I just thought that was a really annoying story, which
Yeah.
for the next 2 minutes annoyed me, and then I wrote it down, and it wasn't annoying me anymore.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Is that
I
what
feel
you
like
do?
that would annoy me too.
Do you write things? Oh, you write things
It's
down
just
so
like-
you remember them to talk about them.
Don't get up me for what the government says that we can and can't give you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the box is free. That would
I
cost
know.
more.
I
than
made that very clear to him in the very first sentence I said to him.
It would cost more to make the bag than the box than the bag. Surely.
I don't
Well,
think it's a value thing for him.
It's regardless of
No,
the
but-
value of what it costs. I said to him, I can give you a bag for $150 or a box is free. He obviously didn't listen to that
Yeah.
sentence at all.
No, mate, I'll just scull them all here.
And not pay. That wouldn't be the first time that happened.
Yeah, people drink it there.
People just will grab a single, walk into the call room, neck it, and then walk out.
No.
Do they pay for it?
Yeah.
Why would you grab a single beer? Like,
Because
what
you
is-
can.
No, they'll buy a 10% premix or something.
Oh.
Yeah. It's three.
What, neck
two
it and off
standard
they
drinks
go?
right there.
Is that legal? Like, if they pay for it, can they legally drink in your shop?
No, it's
Oh.
takeaway only.
Right.
Anyway, that was an annoying story, but another annoying one happened literally the same day.
Mhm.
I had a Karen come in.
Oh.
So that was a Chad.
Yeah.
I had a Karen come in.
How about a Bruce?
And I have a
Chad.
Bruce that works there, and
Oh, okay.
he's lovely. So I had a Karen come in with her phone. She was having a conversation to Telstra.
Oh, jeez.
Mm.
She was having a conversation on the phone, on loudspeaker to Telstra.
I hate. Is that a new thing? People on loudspeaker just
It-
holding it to their face.
Yeah.
I see
yeah.
it more and more.
Anyway, this lady was maybe mid-50s.
Mid Karen.
Late 40s, early 50s.
Well into her Karen prime.
Mm.
Oh, super Karen-y.
Yeah.
And as she was having this conversation with the Telstra person, which I could hear,
Mm.
it was really loud.
Yep.
She started asking me for recommendations for products.
Off.
Oh.
I would have literally stared at her in the face just like this.
Yeah, so I started recommending some stuff, but I could just tell that she wasn't listening.
Right.
Wasn't listening at all. I mean, she was listening, but
Mm.
it wasn't being processed
Yeah.
by her inner whatever she had in there.
Yeah.
And she was asking me questions about things that I'd already mentioned.
Yeah.
So I knew that she wasn't listening to me.
Yeah.
Which is just my pet hate is when people I say things to people and then 2 sentences later they'll go, "Oh, so what was it? What was this? Where was this one made?"
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Was she talking to Telstra at the same time she was
She's talking-
talking to you?
No, she was on hold at this moment.
Ah.
So the guy put her on hold.
But her mind was elsewhere, so it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she
Karen.
just said, "Oh, well, I'll just pick one anyway." And then she picked one that I hadn't spoken at all about it.
Yeah.
Which really annoyed me as well.
Yeah.
And then went up to the counter to start processing the sale. The Telstra guy comes back off of speaker. I got a whole bunch of questions that I got to ask her. Like, do you want a bag for $150 or a free box? Anyway, so she's just having this conversation with this Telstra guy.
Mm.
She, what else did I write down? Oh, she left with it. Yeah, so I processed it. She left without saying thank you or even, she didn't even say goodbye.
Mm.
And, yeah,
What a snob.
I just thought it was interesting. Like, that mentality doesn't even come into my brain. Like, I
No.
don't even, if I start a conversation on a phone outside a store or something, I just don't go into the store.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Number one, because I don't want to be rude to the clerk. And number two, I'm not focused on what I'm actually trying to buy.
Mm.
I just thought that's a weird mentality. I've only ever really seen it from people around that age too.
You
Another
mean
thing
on
that-
the phone or speaker in particular?
No,
Just on the phone.
on speak
yeah.
or on the phone.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
I've never understood that mentality.
Right.
It is a lot of the time like Karens as well. Like no, I had a few back in the days where like there'd be people walk in with their like not with the speakerphone like that, but with like headphones in
Yeah.
having a
Okay.
conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like-
That's a new thing as well.
Yeah,
Just to block out everything else and.
it's
socially
Yeah.
awkward people.
It's just it's a weird mentality though. I know some people don't really like that small talk
Mm.
and saying hello to people and stuff, but it's not like what I was thinking was is that she's obviously so stressed for time that she doesn't even realize that she's just wasted 5 minutes of my time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I sat there and recommended all those products. She chose something completely different, and then I may as well not even have been there to process the sale.
Because she didn't speak to you.
Yeah, and she was obviously thinking in her mind, I'm really busy. I'm the one who needs to, consolidate all my time and stuff, so I need to do two things at once. But what she doesn't realize is that I now feel like she has wasted my time.
Mm.
I bet she's one of the same motherfuckers that was wasting my time on the way to your house this afternoon.
Yeah, probably.
In the school zone.
School zone people are at driving. Like, there's that many. Like, when the worst part is when you're like, there's a light, like a traffic light, and you have to, like, you know what I mean? Like, people will just sit there and like act shocked, like, oh, it's my turn to go now. It's like, off, pay attention.
It's a green light.
You can see, like, most of the time, you can see the other light anyway when it goes orange and red.
Yeah.
And if you can't, the traffic stops.
Mm.
And then it's my turn to go. Especially if, like, it took me 25 minutes, 30 minutes to go. I'm pretty sure that road is, like, 800 meters. 25 minutes to go 800 meters.
That's mental.
What?
I've always thought to myself, when you rock up to traffic lights and you're first in line, even if you're not first in line, you have one job to do. And that is, when the light goes green, go.
Yeah. It's
So
your
many times
responsibility.
there's people at the front of the line where they're obviously just like off with the daisies and they're like looking at
just texting.
They're looking at men's butts or something.
Yeah, or worrying what songs playing.
Talking
to their kids in the back
changing
seat.
their radio, talking to their kids. Like, when you rock up to the front of the line, you have one job, and that's to look at the red light, and when it turns green, go.
Yeah.
But
I saw a woman plucking her chin hairs today at the front of the queue.
Ooh.
Haven't seen that before.
Yeah.
So that was new.
Did you film it?
I didn't. I
That's
was focused on the light turning green. I was also at the front. I was doing my part.
That's excellent.
But I just saw,
Just
she's
sat there like
her
this.
chin hairs. Like this, in the mirror.
Was
Oh,
she
wow.
watching
She
the
was doing
light
a
though at the
two-handed
same
pull.
time? Was she like,
No, she
Yeah.
wasn't looking at the light.
oh yeah, it's green.
She was older, to be fair.
I reckon it's that I don't think people understand that the faster they go through the light, the more people that can go through the light.
Yeah, but they don't care about other people, dude.
You know what I mean?
They
Like,
don't.
I don't like go the speed limit, but at least accelerate with some urgency.
Some gravitas.
Not even urgency. Like,
Some gusto.
I was saying to Adam before, like before you got here,
Gusto.
it must be that most people sit so far back from their pedals that when they fully extend their leg, they only get that much throttle.
Nah.
I swear so
No
many
way.
people don't understand how much their accelerator goes down.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to take off and make all your cups fall out of the cup holders.
But have you seen how close old people sit to the pedals?
Yeah,
in the
there was
steering
another
wheel?
lady in
It
a race car
scares the
today.
shit out of me,
Mm.
dude,
On
because
the
that will
highway.
kill them.
Or
If they
like
hit
the
something that will-
overflexed back seat,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
like,
Doing these. on-
yeah.
Yeah, there was a lady in a race car like mine today.
Yeah.
We were giving her the shuckers.
Oh, the old CRV race car.
race car. And it was
Yeah.
just this lady like,
Glued.
That's so
to the
funny.
she
wheel.
had no idea that anyone was next
Honestly, my mum, I've never seen anyone who sits closer to the steering wheel than my mum.
What car does she drive?
She leaves like maybe that much, like it'd be the width of her torso.
to her. What car
Wow.
does she drive?
A Ford Falcon.
See, I was thinking of, I was
gonna
picturing a
say they're
bigger
paying
car.
for it, but probably a bad idea.
Yeah, don't worry about that
Yeah.
one.
I was picturing a larger vehicle being that close, but a small vehicle's
No.
already quite,
Well, no,
smushed.
it's a wagon,
Yeah,
and
it's big.
and
What is it?
it's fairly boaty. It's a Ford Falcon wagon.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
like Tom sold it.
Sorry. I
You know
think the
the silver
Fiesta.
one?
Yeah,
Is
of
it-
course. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a Ford.
I would agree.
Falcon
Fairly,
wagon.
Yeah.
fairly boaty.
Yeah, really boaty, and it's just like
She skids butt.
she sits literally the width of her
Yeah.
torso
Yeah, okay.
away from the wheel because her legs can't reach the
Pedals.
pedal.
Did she also
Yeah.
prop the seat up?
Yeah,
I have a
she-
problem
yeah,
with
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
When the seat is propped up. Because I'm
Propped up.
tall.
Yeah,
If the seat has any prop on it, my head's on the
The
roof.
ceiling has to be like this.
It's not a good time.
that's true.
I got to prop it all the way down.
See, I used to like the Evo because like the seat was so low that like I had to like do these ones over the dash.
Yeah.
I'm no means by like tall, but like that thing was on the ground,
Yeah.
Fair.
pulling into a car park. And
Fair.
Fair.
Yeah, that's very fair.
But yeah, no,
That scares me too, like, because literally, if an old person rammed into someone's rear end, there's
Yeah.
not even any travel
Yeah.
between them
At all.
and the steering wheel.
The bag
the airbag
wouldn't even
would
go
just-
off all the way or
It
enough.
would
Well, it
explode
would.
into their chest cavity.
Well, yeah, that's right. It wouldn't
Yeah.
completely open.
Nature
Yeah.
is metal, dude.
That's
Oh,
let's not hope for that.
No.
But no, that's exactly what I thought when you were saying she sits that close, but I just didn't want to say anything about it.
yeah.
But also,
Mm.
I've also noticed this going back to school parents. School parents seem to be the only people that I ever see speeding through the school zones or not indicating or
Stopping
just me?
sporadically as well and
yeah.
changing directions sporadically as well.
Yeah, and just
which
like-
is horrible.
It's shocking.
Yeah.
So anyway, rant over about that.
Yeah.
Fair.
I couldn't believe, and also like there's like not rant over. There's like there's that many
Bit more
exits,
ranting.
right? Like out of the school, and there's like a bus turning circle, and all these other idiot parents are letting all the people in that are like not following the rules that everyone else is,
Mm.
and it's just like I reckon for like 15 minutes I traveled like 30 meters because like every time because there's a lollipop lady there as well,
Yeah.
and she.
Gail.
Oh, like
Karen.
lovely
maybe.
lady. I give her a good tip of the old hat every morning that I go past or whatever.
Mm.
But like, I swear, every time one person gets to the crossing, she'll stop the traffic regardless. She won't like. She has no regard for how many like a mile worth
Scant
of cars.
regard, dude.
Yeah, at all.
Scant
Scant regard. She has,
Scant regard. Gunt regard.
but yeah, she. Like,
You mean like she doesn't get a couple kids and go, all right, I
yeah,
got
or
a
she
little...
doesn't let like 10
yeah,
got a
cars
couple.
pass. She
got a
lets
little
one person
posse
comes,
going here. Got a
one
little
person
posse.
comes, she's straight out, bang, this person has to cross now.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's just like it holds because there's a light at the end
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
There's no flow.
At all.
Yeah.
And so all we do,
There's
like this
only
afternoon,
ebb.
Yes, ebb and no flow.
Yeah.
we creep forward like 2 car lengths. And what would someone do? Just sit there and let 2 more cars in. And it's just
Yeah.
like, well, do you not want to go anywhere?
Yeah.
Like, screw those people who have to merge. Like, they can go all the way down the back and turn around and.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. What? How far are we in, by the way?
I have 32 minutes on my camera.
Yeah,
yeah, nice.
It's about that. 30.
I had to restart my
Mm.
recording.
Poo.
Oh, you know what else I was thinking was funny the other day is how funny is the term, like, you know, someone says, "Oh yeah, he's an idiot. He's an idiot. He's worse than a used car salesman."
Yeah, okay.
How funny is the actual, like, using that term? Because if you go into a used car lot and you are convinced to buy a used car by a used car salesman,
You're the idiot.
he's not the idiot.
Yeah.
Good point. Well done.
Yeah.
There's always 2 sides to a story, isn't
Yeah.
there?
Well, it's like you have to, like, he can sell you a car as hard as he wants, but you're the one who has to say yes.
Yeah.
It's so easy to say yes.
But it's not, though. You got to pull your credit card
It
out,
is
or
so
you got to.
easy to. It's
Well-
so
Get
easy
a
to
loan.
say yes.
It's more easy to say yes.
It's more easy to say yes. It's so easy to say no. Especially if you go to a used car yard
That's what I
and you
mean.
reckon that the used car salesman is the bozo
Yeah.
when you're
You're-
the one who bought the f***ing car off him.
Yeah, you don't just like bump into like a used car salesman and accidentally buy a car. Like, you went there to buy a car, didn't you?
Yeah.
I
You know,
suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you don't just bump into a used car salesman at Coles and end up with a new
Yeah. Exactly.
Commodore in your driveway.
I reckon they should change that saying around a bit to mean something different.
What was the
Okay.
saying again? As
What is it? Like, he's worse than a used car salesman or something?
Yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah. You're the idiot.
Yeah.
Who bought the used car
I think it's
from the used car salesman.
untrustworthy as... Is that,
I
what's
don't
the
know.
verb?
I
Anyway,
thought
it doesn't
might
matter.
be. As as much as a shuck fund as a.
Yeah, that's it.
Is it? Shuck Funtington.
That's good. I can't say I don't have any stories of what happened during the week. We went and picked up a $400 car today.
Did you?
Yeah, went to a.
How much was it?
$400,
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
and then
It's cheap.
$80 or something like that to drive it unregistered
used
from
car?
Brisbane to here. Huh?
Was it a used car?
It's definitely used.
Yeah.
We started it up yesterday because we went up. It was at the auctions.
yeah.
It's an AU Falcon.
Okay.
Slate it, girl.
It was well used. Put it that way. Like we went up yesterday to go check it out. There was auctions, so we went and looked at a couple of other cars while we were there. I sat in. Me, Tim, and Hayden all sat. I've never sat in a Mini before.
Like a proper Mini?
Yeah, proper Mini.
Yeah,
They're actually
okay.
quite spacious in there.
Yeah, not bad.
Like
I would say spacious.
for me, it was. I'm not like for you.
Like in the front?
story. Yeah,
I've been in the
front.
back of a Mini.
Huh?
I've been in the back.
Yeah, well, Tim's like not as tall as you, but like he was in the back and
Okay.
sort of didn't have many issues.
That's good.
But then we got told off
Oh.
for sitting in it because we didn't come to look at that car. But anyway, so we went to look at this Ford Falcon,
You animal.
and the reason we went to look at it was because my housemate bid on it, and no one
Sight
else had bid on it.
unseen.
So it was So she saw photos and it's got like a pretty good description and that kind of thing. Like he knew it started and rah, and he'd bid on it and then was like having a bit of buyer's remorse because he was like, oh shit, it's got like 2 days left and no one else has bid on it. What happens if it doesn't work? And I was like, oh dude, it's $400.
Yeah.
Like, so be it. Like we'll just tow it home, like, and bin it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something like
Drop
that.
it off at a used
Yeah,
car lot on the way
scrap
home.
yard or something like that.
Yeah.
So we went and looked at it yesterday and started all fine. You know, kind of bit rough around the edges. I think it had a misfire of some sort. But then, what really was funny, because like all the cars were like parked like all up. He like obviously was checking if it revved, and it started shooting metal out of the exhaust.
Oh my
Like
god.
metal pieces. So we were kind of worried for a little bit.
I mean, that
Um,
is one of the joys of buying sight unseen cars
Yeah.
from an auction.
But no, it still went all right. And then we realized the
Yeah.
metal was just part of the exhaust was like
Falling
rusted,
off.
I guess, and it was just
Like the
coming out.
inside was corroding and it was just shooting
Yeah,
it out.
no. Like when we went up today to go get it because obviously no one else wanted to fucking buy the car. It's a piece of shit. We like when we were driving back home, I could see like the exhaust was probably like, it was hitting the ground.
Right,
And then we
okay.
pulled over to get petrol and had a look, and it was like part of the exhaust was like flaking off from rust, and it was
Yeah.
obviously coming out the tailpipe. So that was kind of funny.
Huh.
I had $50 on that it didn't get home, and unfortunately it did.
Oh no!
So I'm
Did it make
reneging on
him?
the deal, but
Who
Yeah.
was actually buying it?
Tim.
And it's made him happy.
I don't know.
Well, if it
I
makes him
guess.
happy, then that's the main thing.
I think he thought he was maybe going to buy it to sell it, but
Right.
I don't think anyone will want that.
Yeah.
Like-
That's probably
Tell
true.
him to employ the services of a used car salesman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Interesting.
Anything from your end, Kolby?
Not
Still
from
learning to
this
surf?
week. Still learning to surf. Surf's been no good this week though.
What? Why is that small?
It's
or-
flat. There was no waves the last 2 days.
Flat
That's
as a
so good.
tack.
Flat as a tack.
Dude, you got to pray to Huey.
Yeah, I guess so.
The Mad Hueys.
Yeah.
No, Huey is
Like the helicopter.
the god of waves.
Oh, we're all thinking of
right.
different Hueys.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of completely the wrong Huey.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Huey, I don't know. Huey, he's the god of waves, lives in the water, and he farts and it makes waves.
Is
pretty
that
sure
who
that's
he
the
is?
story. Yeah.
Because I've completely misjudged who that Huey is.
Yeah, no.
I thought Huey was not the god of thunder who farts and makes waves.
No, that's Thor.
Different thunder.
That's Thor.
Um,
But no, Huey. I'm pretty sure it's spelt Poseidon,
Mm.
but it's pronounced Huey.
Have you heard of the Poseidon's Kiss?
and is this from a? Is this from
Dude,
a
my
mono?
toilet is known for
Is that
doing
from a
it.
monotheistic religion, or like
What?
is that the only god? Because that's really weird.
Oh, for surfers, yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just the
Oh,
money
fair.
god and the doll god.
So there's two.
Yeah.
Demigod.
Yeah.
Adam, have you heard of the Poseidon's Kiss?
I can't say I have.
Oh. Blaze?
definitely have. I don't know
Someone
if it's my
has to have
toilet
not
or
heard
me.
of Well, yeah, someone has to have not heard of it for you to be able to tell the story logically without it looking like you've staged
And a
this.
dead end. True.
Yeah.
So the Poseidon's Kiss is when you go to the toilet,
Mm.
sit down,
Mm-hmm.
you poop,
Mm-hmm.
it hits the water,
Yeah.
it plops,
Ooh.
a small stream. What's the word I'm looking for? Ejects, funnels,
Is it urine?
and just comes up and just light splash on the undercarriage.
Yeah.
And that is the Poseidon's Kiss.
Nice.
If the kiss gets you in the right spot, you don't have to wipe.
Oh,
It's like a bidet.
built-in bidet.
A booty wetter. Nice. Built-in bidet.
So, yeah, that's the Poseidon's Kiss.
Interesting. I like the fact that it just goes.
It's just hopefully it's just a light smooch on the
Yeah.
anus.
It's not like a flood comes out.
No,
of there.
not the floodgates.
Moses
That's something
parting
else.
the Red Sea just from one of your
Oh.
deuces.
That'd be a holy if it did.
Holy dude. Do you reckon Moses actually parted the Red Sea?
No. No, I don't.
Cool.
What I do believe,
I
though,
feel
is
like-
that he walked around the desert for 40 years.
I can see that being
What an
true.
idiot.
Just looking
Definitely
around.
eating cactus.
Have you seen that? Was it you that was telling me about it the other week? How if you someone did a Google Maps of walking around or walking a straight line from where he started for 40 years,
No, it wasn't me.
and it like so the desert size, you could have walked out of it in like 2 days or something like that.
If you just walk straight.
if you just walk straight.
in one straight
Dude,
line.
I'm telling you, I reckon the story was they were eating the hallucinogenic cactus. And they were just walking around in circles for 40 days.
I reckon that's where that story.
Wait, was it
I
40
reckon
days
that's
or
where a
40
lot of-
years?
40 years,
40
wasn't
years. Yeah, definitely. So they just
40
kept eating more
years. He
cactus.
said 40 years. I mean, that's the way the King James
Yeah.
says it.
it?
I'm telling you.
King James version of the biblical story.
Either that or they
40 years.
did eat that many cactus that it felt like 40 years, but it was actually like a
That's
couple
what
of
I was
days.
thinking too.
Because what's the lifespan of people back then? Like medieval times was like
Oh,
35.
Dude.
So
Nah,
40.
800
Oh,
years.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you read the Bible,
That's true.
Abraham was like 800.
800.
Yeah.
And that, yeah.
It
you're
was
right.
Abraham.
definitely.
So it's just a small,
and Abraham came after Moses. So
just an inconvenience.
so
40 years
maybe
ago, 800
Moses
year life.
was like 1,400 by the time he parted the Red Sea.
Mm.
And then by the time he walked around for 40 years, he was 2,600.
Gosh.
They measured years differently back
I
then.
think they must have. Maybe they were weeks. Because
I feel
2000,
like they changed days into years at one
Yeah.
point.
something's definitely changed.
40 years. Because Jesus was 40 days and 40 nights, wasn't he? No,
Here's
40 days and 40 nights was the flood.
because he had other people with him, didn't he, Moses?
Moses had
Like,
all of his people. He
what
had
I
all
would
of
have
the
d-
Jews.
You know, like, here's like, you're in a desert. You're following some dude that reckons, like, did he part the Red Sea first or second?
He parted the no. So he
That was after.
What do you mean, first or second?
Like after the desert?
That was first.
Oh, okay.
The desert was second.
Yeah.
Parting the Red Sea was entering the land
Mm.
and
Ah.
and crushing the Pharaoh's
So,
army.
like, I've always thought to myself, like, you're following this dude that's part of the sea, like, fair enough. Like, you must know his shit, right? You're walking through a desert, and I don't know, maybe a year goes by, and you're like, does he really know where he's going?
I could do
Maybe a
I
couple
could do
months.
39
Like,
more of
we'll
these.
keep, yeah, exactly. That's it. We'll keep following him for a little bit more. 39 years later, they're like, you know what I mean?
I reckon
Surely
we
after a
might
couple
be
of
going
years.
around in circles here. 'cause
Like, how big is
something
this
doesn't
desert?
Feel right.
Surely you would, like,
Yeah.
you would notice some things
Come
and
on,
go,
Moses, you dickhead.
Like the world hasn't been mapped yet, sir, but I feel like you're pulling our legs.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it. Like, you keep passing the same fucking, well, not tree, they're in a
Cacti.
desert, but, like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, how long is
I
long
reckon a
enough to
lot
be
of
like,
biblical stories came from hallucinogenic drug use.
you reckon?
I reckon, definitely.
I wouldn't be
Fair.
surprised.
Have you heard of the stoned ape theory?
No?
Yes.
very, 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 very interesting theory.
Have you not heard of it, Kolby?
I haven't.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to take the reins on this one? Because you know more about drug than me.
All right. So there's so at some point in history, the human brain like just expanded to a point, like from a monkey-sized brain to a human-sized brain, and they don't exactly know how. One of the main theories is like that. Obviously, humans learn how to cook food, which can break down nutrients really well and help you grow more. But there's another theory. So when like colonies of monkeys went from
Apes.
apes, sorry, from living in trees and bushland, like that kind of area, they started to expand out into larger areas, like sort of open prairies and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, we're starting to experiment with different types of food sources. And whether they were hunting like bovine type creatures or that kind of thing by like flipping over their poo or whatever, or just eating anything they want, like they could find. They reckon that like psilocybin mushrooms,
right,
which obviously grow in cow poo, or like back then there wouldn't have been cows, it would have been
Something
similar,
some
you know
sort
what
of
I mean?
animal.
That they came across hallucinogenic mushrooms, and that was possibly
Psilocybin
part
mushrooms.
of the reason why the brain got so big.
but why?
Because more so in that it gave them a sense of their own self-existence.
Yeah.
Oh, they
That
had
too.
like a
and it gave them a sense of like so it started the way the theory goes is it started the thought of existential existence.
they had a little crisis.
Yes, exactly. Because the way I've heard it is quite often on like, different
Like-
drugs and hallucinogenics and, is it
Hallucinogenics
DMT
mainly.
or MDMA?
Well,
So psilocybin mushrooms anyway is what
Mm.
they thought, is that you often have like this being that visits you,
Right.
and they reckon that could be where apes or whatever humans, maybe if it was some sort of early human, had this theory of God come to them in a trip.
So you're talking less about the evolutionary.
More so that
And
Blaize
more.
was talking about evolutionary, but I think that's a very, very interesting way that humans could have come about the idea of a god.
Right.
Oh, I think so too. The stoned ape theory is more about the growth of the human brain size.
Yeah,
because like on hallucinogen, like mushrooms mainly, but like a lot of other psychedelics. So LSD, mushrooms. I think peyote's one of them, and then DMT. They like the brain activity is like 10 times.
So you're saying that the hallucinogenic gave consciousness to a primitive brain?
Possibly. Well, because like it helped, like they like they call them psychedelics because it psychedelic, I think in the standard terms, means like mind expansion.
Right.
So it's not like, they're not like party drugs kind of thing. It's not like cocaine or anything like that. But it like for instance, DMT is the one that people say that you like meet a being or something like that, or like some sort of like spiritual being. I haven't done that.
Right.
But they give you like they remove like, or like slightly remove your ego a little bit. It's kind of hard to explain. But
Can
like,
I interject and say
Yeah.
this? People from different cultures with whatever local religion they have, whatever near-death experience they have will match people in their same culture. Like, people who are Christian will see God in a certain way, whereas people who are Muslim will see God in a different way.
Yeah.
During
wouldn't be surprised.
those, like, during a trip or during dreams or during near-death experiences. So, yeah, would think that would be, it would be very different if you didn't have any concept of the world
Yeah,
Oh, definitely.
as
Yeah.
a primitive being.
like
But-
an existential concept.
That's
Right.
why they call them like psychedelics, mind expansion. It's only showing you what's in your brain.
Right,
You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of like putting what's in your brain into pictures.
right.
Not you like, it's not like you see fucking purple dragons and shit flying everywhere. You know what I mean? But it's
You
more
might.
like you can like
Yeah.
it's like kind of the third eye thing. You know what I mean? Like, you got your pineal gland or whatever, but like you can kind of like, I don't know, you can kind of just see what's going on in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stoned ape theories, they reckon because the rate at which your brain activity goes like through the roof. Like, have you ever seen the picture of like
Yeah. On different drugs, the brain scans. Yeah.
and like on psychedelic drugs, like it's just
Full.
all colorful as shit. So they reckon that was some of the reason why apes, like possibly their brain size grew. I don't know how much I actually believe it.
Right.
I wouldn't
You
be
just mean there's
surprised.
some merit to.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so. Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if
I reckon
apes
there's
at
some
some
merit
point.
to it, especially like the merit of, when you're tripping, being visited by
A being.
a being, and then you processing it afterwards, going, "Holy shit, that felt so real."
Yeah,
Mm.
trying to put it into something physical that it wasn't actually physical at all.
Yeah,
Right.
But yeah, and you're trying to like essentially turn it into words.
Mm.
Like the same way I'm trying to explain it to you, what it's like. I can't really explain it to you, kind of thing. They're trying to explain something that they've felt in words, and it came as not the Bible, but it came as religion.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like later religions became more of a trying to control like not control, but like
Mm.
make sure
I
the
mean-
population was trying to all
Yeah.
do the right thing.
organized religion is that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But like I don't know what the first religion was or whatever, but like beliefs of like a higher power.
Like the Greek gods, kind of
Yeah.
the first
Yeah, or
documented
the
ones, probably.
Romans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it's quite common in like a lot of cultures.
Zoroastrians.
South America will do ayahuasca,
Yeah.
which is but it's
a
literally
root of-
DMT. It's like it's weird. They've got two specific like completely different plants
Mm.
that one of them has the DMT in it. Like apparently heaps of wattle trees are like full of it,
Okay.
which is like you got to do some special like weird to get it out.
Yeah.
But like in South America, they've got this one plant that has heaps of DMT in it. But if you just eat the leaves, nothing happens.
Mm.
So they have to like cook it in a stew
Yeah.
with like this completely other plant, like
Yeah.
found somewhere else.
But if they don't do it properly, it'll kill you.
Wow.
Yeah.
and then you cook them together or whatever, and next thing you know, you're fucking.
How did they
with
know
aliens.
how to?
It's
where
it's
did-
ridiculous, eh?
Well, I guess the outcome would be worth the risk of people dying
Well, you'd want to hope so,
because
we're,
otherwise,
like if someone ate a berry, right? If you just were in an unknown territory,
yeah,
and we were like, oh, we got to scavenge for food.
mm,
Someone ate a berry. In your brain, you're like, I can't eat that again.
Yeah.
So somewhere down the line, they were like, oh, well, we could just keep trying these different methods, and
someone
maybe Joe
probably-
won't die this time.
someone probably didn't die once, and and
Yeah,
they had this experience, and then
Yeah.
everyone else wanted that experience, so
and
they're
then
like,
someone did it wrong,
and
and it
there would have
killed
been a
them.
lot of deaths in the
Yeah.
meantime, for sure.
Let's
Well, they wouldn't have wouldn't have died, but they would have come. Yeah, I
Well,
don't know.
probably been poisoned or something
It would've
if you
been
didn't do it properly.
Huh.
Oh, you mean if they got it right? Yeah.
They wouldn't have been able. There was no words back then, surely. Maybe he
for
invented words at that
ayahuasca,
point.
I reckon there would have been,
Yeah, probably.
because I reckon that would have only been 1,000 years ago, maybe.
Oh,
Oh,
That's
how
very
far,
recent.
How far ago were the Aztecs and the Incas and all that?
not that long.
no idea.
3,000 years.
That's I mean, maybe 1 to 3,000.
Yeah, I was
years?
probably even
Yeah.
2. Yeah, 1 to 3 is fair.
Yeah,
That's true.
Not
Well,
that
there was
long ago.
language back then, wasn't
no, not at all.
there? Was there
Weird.
language back then?
That's really weird.
Yeah, that was language, definitely.
Oh, there's they've been,
How long
there's
ago
been
was the
language.
Egyptians? I don't even know.
That was like 2 to 4.
2 to 6, I think.
That's okay.
Yeah.
True.
The
2 to
ancient
6,000.
Egyptians, probably
Yeah.
6.
But in saying that, like mushrooms have been going for how long?
Oh, I mean,
Ages.
yeah, since
But those people,
plants started growing.
yeah,
Yeah.
and people before the Egyptians were around.
But yeah, that's a very interesting
Topic.
theory, I reckon.
Yeah,
The stoned ape theory.
it does maybe sound familiar, but definitely not something I was familiar with.
Probably because
Mhm.
I've said it somewhere before to you
Maybe.
in the chat.
Mhm.
I was pretty big on that stuff for a while. It's not like I think it's definite, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if
Well,
it has
There's
some
also-
sort of,
think about there was communities, tribes, whatever, using the same tool for 10,000 years
Yeah.
with no
No,
advancements.
advancements,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then a slight change, like a handle. They went from a spearhead, or not a spearhead, a small sharp rock, which they would make tools out of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 10,000 years of using this tool. And then one day, old mate gets born and decides to put a handle on
On the
the sharp rock.
yeah.
and all of a sudden you have this new tool, which
that
they
you
didn't
can
change
throw.
for another 4,000 years.
Yeah.
And yeah, the fact that
Yeah.
time goes on without change, but that's how nature works. Things don't change unless there's a need.
Yeah, well, that's it. I guess, like, if you've got everything you need.
Yeah.
But then that's the thing. That's like that's goes back to the stoned ape theory. Is like if you have an experience like that, there may be the need or want to change.
Mm.
And it's not like he would have seen like the like a vision of like the stick and the stone going together. Going.
Maybe he
You know what I
did.
mean?
Maybe
Maybe
who
he
knows?
did. Maybe he
Who
did.
knows? That's what I think is really interesting about it, because everyone has different. It's not like everyone has the same trip.
No, not at all.
You know, everyone has different trips, but obviously this image of someone visiting you, maybe it manifested itself into, well, there must be a higher being kind of thing that's visiting all of us in our trips,
Right.
or whilst we eat this.
Because as long as there's been people and not civilization, tribes, there's been some sort of
Deity,
higher power,
like
some deity. Yeah,
they've all been deists kind of thing.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Um,
because they've all wanted to explain things that they couldn't explain.
that's
Exactly.
always the cause, isn't it?
Yeah.
People don't like that they can't explain things.
Yeah, you can keep going for a little bit though, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going for Ted.
Mm.
But yeah, no. If I think it's like because it's all based on what you want to not what you want to see, but like or what you want to feel. But you know what I mean? Like if a really religious person for some reason decided to take mushrooms,
They would
And-
see God.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, they wouldn't see him. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like
yeah,
they wouldn't be
you know
like
what I mean,
staring at the
though.
wall and be like, "Oh my God, there's God."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'd feel like they met. But because basically the idea is whatever you think beforehand, it comes out through the trip, and then when you come back to reality, not come back to reality, but when you feel normal again,
Mm.
you try and explain what you felt through it, which is what you were thinking beforehand.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
And that's like
Yeah,
when
so it
when
brings
people
out
talk
your
about.
sort of subconscious thoughts.
Oh yeah, it's exactly that.
It
is
sort of illustrates your subconscious thoughts, but it brings them into your
conscious.
conscious.
Right.
Yeah, like
Psyche.
to a ridiculous degree where you
Psychedelic
then
drugs.
can't explain it afterwards, sort
Yeah.
of thing. So, like people who have bad trips, for instance, are already thinking they're going to have one before they have one. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So you need to go into them with an open
Mind.
mind. That's essentially what
Correct.
you're saying, just as a disclaimer. For
Yeah, 100%.
just in case.
Stay in school, don't do drugs.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually first heard about that theory. I mean, I'd heard the theory of it, but I actually first heard it being explained on Joe Rogan with
Duncan.
Graham Hancock,
Oh, okay, yeah, Graham
who's a
Hancock.
really interesting guy as well.
Mm.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's got some really good books actually. I've read 2 of his books now.
I didn't think you'd be into Graham Hancock.
He's very, very interesting.
Yeah, what do you think of
I mean-
his it's is it Terence McKenna or Dennis McKenna that came up with the theory? Have you watched the podcast with him?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's his son now. I think the guy who came up with it died.
What?
Like
Which theory?
the stoned ape theory. I think it was
Right.
Terence
okay.
McKenna.
Yeah. It's
he-
Terrence. It is Terrence McKenna.
Yeah, that came up with it.
Yeah.
He's but yeah, no. What do you think of Graham Hancock's theories about like? Have you heard the one about Göbekli Tepe? or
Oh yeah,
whatever?
in Turkey.
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you think about that?
Do you know about Göbekli Tepe?
I can't
No.
fully remember it, but like,
Yeah,
I do
well,
not.
so basically, Graham basically thinks that there have been many, many stages of great civilizations that have just completely disappeared.
Right.
I mean, am I right there?
correct. Yeah.
His theory is that he thinks that we evolved and we got to the point where we hit this tipping point or something happened, like a natural disaster or something like that, destroyed the civilization, and then we had to rebuild. We had to relearn stuff, basically.
So you're
this
talking
isn't-
about like mass extinctions
This
that
isn't
wipe
people-
out.
yeah, yeah,
Almost,
almost.
yeah.
Okay.
But this isn't people in the same area that those civilizations had existed.
Right.
They hadn't had contact with each other. They hadn't had contact with people from anywhere else in the world, kind of thing,
Mm.
especially back then.
But yeah,
So his theory is that when these huge advanced civilizations were wiped out, people had to relearn things.
Like the
and
knowledge was lost with the people.
The knowledge was lost with the people, and people learnt things the same but in different areas of the world. So, like for instance, he thinks that there was it's an ancient site called Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, and I think he thinks that is the oldest like advanced civilization recorded.
How old are we talking?
Dude, 12,000 years. Like you're talking pre-Ice Age.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So,
like for instance, the Ice Age could have been what wiped out that. Like,
Yeah.
not to the point where they had computers and shit, but like a lot more advanced than we thought they were with like sticks and stones and shit. You know what I mean?
so you're talking like 12 to 15, maybe 20,000 years old.
My immediate response is if they were advanced, they would actually. I'm kind of thinking in my head.
I'm not talking about advanced as in like with all of this
No,
technology.
of course not.
I'm just saying like
They had some sort of
government
life
sort of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
and a civilization,
Yeah.
but generally they want to expand or they want to
Yeah.
explore or they want to
That's
diversify.
very true.
So
Yeah.
would you not have like how
Although,
the Spanish sent people across the world?
Yeah,
Surely
but,
they would send
I
someone
mean,
like down the river.
they sent them across the world because they had this need to they had this drive to explore the unexplored world.
Yeah.
But maybe people just weren't.
But then again, I guess you think about cave people. They didn't want to leave the cave. They didn't want to explore. They were
Yeah.
scared of the
Yeah.
outside world.
I mean, you'd be talking about maybe 10,000 people.
Mm.
It was the maximum size of this city, Göbekli Tepe. But it's huge. It's all underground in Turkey. It's kind of in like a bit of a disputed zone, I think. I feel like it could be in like where Kurdistan would have
Right.
been.
Yeah.
But it's definitely very, very interesting to look at.
For
And
sure.
it's all most of it is still underground apparently.
Mm.
So
Oh, digging it up.
yeah, they're gradually digging it up, but they're digging around it essentially.
Yeah.
They're
I imagine there is a lot of amazing
Oh,
things
so much of that.
underground.
Yeah.
Because they were finding mammoths under the subway of.
What?
That was just recently. Did you hear about this?
New York or something, or
it-
some sort of
Somewhere in
American
the
city?
US, they were digging in a new metro or a new subway, and they're pulling out these full mammoth fossils, like 6 full fossils, and all these remnants of other little pieces. And just recently in Italy, at someone's vineyard, they were doing some expansion.
Yes,
They dug down,
I heard about
maybe
that.
like 10 feet, maybe
Yeah.
a bit more, and there's like these beautiful tiles, mosaic tiles, like in Pompeii and Herculaneum, where it's just been covered by
Yeah.
other dirt and gravel, whatever, over time that's just hidden.
Mm.
And I imagine there are so many things like that in
Out
our
there.
modern world, especially in big cities that have been there for a long time, in Europe and especially.
Yeah,
Like, think about the medieval times and all that, and everything's just built on top of it. How much stuff is just a one layer
it's
below,
Yeah.
just sitting there,
Oh,
like
yeah, for
the
sure.
Holy Grail
What-
sitting there.
what's
Or
underneath us essentially.
yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like that'll be a way forward for technology as well as
Yeah,
some way
for
of
sure. seeing
under the ground and
Well,
detecting.
there's pretty cool technology for. I know there's pretty cool technology for caves, mapping caves.
Mm. Oh,
You just pretty much just use sonar.
yeah.
Um.
Can I say one more thing? Is when they were doing the King Square in London,
Yeah.
they found fossils of hippos and
What?
lions right in the middle of London City, where there's like the main fountain,
Yeah.
the King Square,
Yeah, they escaped the
Trafalgar,
zoo.
Trafalgar Square.
Yeah.
There's not fossils. There's bones of these like animals that you would never expect to be there
Yeah.
in the middle of the city.
Definitely. Well,
Zoo
they wouldn't
escapists.
have been native, so
But
possibly brought back from an expedition or something.
possibly
Yeah,
amazing.
Circus.
that is because.
Well, there's
Well, I
European lions. They went extinct.
Yeah, well, I know that the Romans used to bring back all these wild animals from Africa,
Mm.
and so there was lions in like they had lions in Rome and stuff like that. But I mean, the Roman Empire expanded into.
But there was a Eurasian lion native to Europe.
It was there.
Yeah,
But
I
this
don't-
wasn't what they found at.
I don't think
Trafalgar.
so.
Oh yeah, true.
No, but the fact that there was stuff there is
Mm.
cool.
Is very interesting.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I mean,
wicked.
there used to be a what's it called? The thylacine.
Mm.
The
Like the
Tasmanian
massive
tiger?
tiger with the.
Well, the Tasmanian tiger.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't
Okay.
that was
No.
the thylacine.
Yeah.
That wasn't that long ago.
No, that was less than 100 years ago.
Yeah.
That went
Okay.
extinct.
Yeah.
But they only
Very
had 2 for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the new, like the regular, Siberian tiger's about to go.
It's a lot.
There's not
There's
many.
a lot of stuff that's about to go.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff goes every day. A lot of stuff is discovered every day,
Yeah,
Mm.
for sure.
which is really interesting.
It's give and take, but
yeah,
It's very true.
yeah, fair enough.